Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjanam Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Shri Gaur Sundar Nitaya Gaur Sundar Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Maya ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nasta Prayesha Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Today we are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3rd canto, 3rd chapter, text number 20. Just repeat after me. Snigdha Smitavalokena Vacha Piyosha Kalpaya Charitrena Navajyena Sriniketena Chatmana Snigdha Smitavalokena Vacha Piyosha Kalpaya Charitrena Navajyena Sriniketena Chatmana Snigdha Smitavalokena Snigdha Smitavalokena Vacha Piyosha Kalpaya Charitrena Navajyena Sriniketena Chatmana Snigdha Smitavalokena Vacha piyosha kalpaya Charitre nanavajyena Śrīniketena chatmanam. Please recite us. Snigdhasimātavaloken Vacha piyosha kalpaya Charitre nanavajyena Śrīniketena chatmanam. Snigdhasmitavalokenam Vacha piyosha kalpayam Charitre nanavajyena Śrīniketena chatmanam. Matasis. Snigdhasmitavalokenam Vacha piyosha kalpayam Charitre nanavajyenam Śrīniketena chatmanam. Snigdhasmita Vacha piyosha kalpayam Charitre nanavajyenam Śrīniketena chatmanam. Anyone else? Synonyms. Snigdha, gentle. Smitavalokena, by a glance with a sweet smile. Vacha, by words. Piyusha kalpaya, compared to nectar. Charitrena, by character. Anavajyena, without flaw. Shri, fortune. Niketena, residence. Cha, and Atmana, by his transcendental body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. He was there in his transcendental body, the residence of the goddess of fortune, with his usual gentle and sweetly smiling face, his nectarian words, and his flawless character. Purport. In the previous verse, it is described that Lord Krishna, being situated in the truths of Sankhya philosophy, is detached from all kinds of matter. In the present verse, it is described that he is the residence of the goddess of fortune. These two things are not at all contradictory. Lord Krishna is detached from the variegatedness of the inferior nature or material nature, but he is in eternal blissful enjoyment of the spiritual nature or his internal potency. One who has a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand this distinction between the external and internal potencies. In the Bhagavad Gita, the internal potency is described as the Para Prakriti. In the Vishnu Purana also, the internal potency of Vishnu is described as Parashakti. The Lord is never detached from the association of Parashakti. This Parashakti and her manifestations are described in the Brahma Samhita 5.37 as Anandaya Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabihi. The Lord is eternally joyful and cognizant in the taste derived from such transcendental bliss. Negation of the variegatedness of the inferior energy does not necessitate negation of the positive transcendental bliss of the spiritual world. Therefore, the Lord's gentleness, His smile, His character, and everything related to Him are all transcendental. Such manifestations of the internal potency are the reality of which material shadow is only a temporary representation from which everyone with proper knowledge must be detached. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Nena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaragunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sahavadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dhina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kilpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaham Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vyasadeva Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate gram krupatam vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Chaitanyameshwar. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas here. We'll discuss text number 20 from 3rd chapter of 3rd canto. So there are 3 things which I would like to talk or discuss in this particular class. From the purport of Srila Prabhupada, we see how Lord Krishna is actually misunderstood or considered as impersonal or not having great character. So, in this material world, these 3 things about Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna are prominently we can see, and not only see, we ourselves have such great misconceptions in our own hearts. The first thing is impersonal aspect. We generally, people consider Krishna or Supreme Personality of Godhead as impersonal. He is not a person. And in my college days, I'm not at that time not in Krishna consciousness. Me and my friend both were discussing about God. We don't know anything much, but we are discussing. So I was asking my friend's opinion, what is your opinion about God? Then my friend, he's a Muslim guy, and he was saying that, yes, I believe in God. There is some superior power. And otherwise, how come sun is maintaining and he is giving light and something he was describing. But his point is, God is some superior or supreme power. That is his understanding. So, scriptures also describes this point. Even Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam talks about 3 aspects of three features of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman, and so as a Paramatma, Brahman feature and Paramatma feature, and Bhagavan as a personality. These three features Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is talking about. We know the sloka also, first canto, second chapter, Vadanti Tattvavidas Tattvam Ejnanamadvayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So here it is clearly described Krishna, or Supreme Personality of Godhead or Absolute Truth, has three features, and Bhagavan is the ultimate word or ultimate feature of the Absolute Truth. So here, this aspect one must be thoroughly understood, that Bhagavan is not a just impersonal power, he is a person. How many, do we have the understanding God is a person? Some new faces I am seeing. So God is a person or power? Just you can share, nothing wrong. No? God is not a power. Power, okay. So you are telling, you can tell more. He can't be a person? He can't be a person. Okay, very good. So, why not? Okay, why not he a person? Why can't be he a person? We can discuss one simple logic. Shastra is saying and devotees, Acharya is saying he is a person, but how can we understand? You are saying he is not a person. We can understand very simple. You have children? So your children has some features and particular form. How come they got those features or form? Because you have form and you are his father, and some particular traits he'll get. So these are his father's traits. Many of our family members say like that, right? These are traits of mother, these are traits of father, and this his whatever gestures, those things resembles father or mother. So then how come we are all belongs to whom? As a jiva, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is saying, Mamaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manasasthani indriyani prakritistani karshyati. So in this sloka, Krishna is saying that all the jivas present in this material world belongs to Krishna or Krishna amshas. Thank you, Prabhu. So, how come we have form? Na? Then how come our original father will not have form? How it is possible? Simple logic. Suppose there is a cow and there is a calf. Why calf is getting that particular shape? Why not she has 2 legs, 2 hands? Why she has 4 legs? Cow and calf, because cow has 4 legs, calf also has 4 legs. Similarly, we all have form because Krishna has form. It is very simple as that. Suppose any other animal, any other you take, crow is black in color. Why the child of crow is black, also black in color? Because the mother is black. Similarly, any other species of life, if you take, they have particular form because Their parents have the same form. So similar, they are inherited. So we also have form because Lord Krishna has form. By the definition of God itself, what is the definition of God? In a simple word or simple line, what is the definition of God? He is all powerful. This is the simplest definition of God. So when God is all powerful and we have form and God doesn't have form, it means he has a limitation. Then how come he can be all powerful? So you got the logic which I am trying to say? So it's not possible that for something that for Krishna something is not possible, or Krishna has something lagging and we have, or we are better. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Nithai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Maya ki jai. So it is not possible. This point is clear, right? So now we will talk about how God is misunderstood as an impersonal Brahman, and some people think that God is also like a ordinary man or some superman or some extraordinary man. He also influenced by Maya, and like that. These kinds of misconceptions and layers of ignorance is there in the conditioned soul hearts. So now in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, if we take just few verses, I would like to read the translation. How Krishna himself, he is just enlightening us how we misunderstood him, or how we have to come out of the ignorance. So in 10th chapter, text number 10, Krishna is saying that, O son of Pradha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of the all-powerful men. So Krishna is the seed, original seed for all existence. And then people confuse that he is also influenced by Maya. This is one of the great misconception in the outside society. Of course, as part of ISKCON, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we have received great fortune in our lives because of Srila Prabhupada and Vaishnava Parampara Acharyas and descendants of Prabhupada. So we can talk about very easily Krishna is not a person, Krishna is a person, not that just impersonal. All these concepts in a very clear-cut manner, it is simply the mercy of Prabhupada. And that's why we are able to understand and discuss. But outside the world, they are fully in ignorance with the misconceptions of that God is power, God doesn't have form, God is also like an ordinary human being or some superior human being, like that. These are the great misconceptions are there. Then Bhagavad Gita, if one learns under the guidance of a devotee in a parampara line, it clears very that how Krishna is not at all influenced by the Maya, or is above Maya, or three modes of material nature. Let's see, even in 7th chapter, there are more slokas that Krishna is talking about. Know that, text number 12, know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by Krishna's energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. Krishna is everything, but it doesn't mean that he is influenced by Maya. He is independent. He is not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. And similarly, in the text 13, Krishna is saying that, deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. So Krishna is above the modes. He is not inflicted by the modes. He is Nistraigunya Bhavarchana. So he is above modes. And then Krishna is also says in the 7th text of 7th chapter, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So in this sloka, Krishna declared that there is no superior truth than him as a person, as a Bhagavan. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about how Krishna is a person, and he refers from Brahma Samhita Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha, that sloka, how Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. And this, because of acharyas, we are clear, we feel very grateful to them. Otherwise, how it is possible that to understand these Paramasachar, absolute truth, by the limited knowledge or limited intelligence of conditioned soul? It's simply the mercy of Parampara and Acharyas. So, and the other aspect, Srila Prabhupada discusses the impersonalist aspect. In Svetasvatara Upanishad, it is talked about in the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme among us the demigods, human beings and lower animals. But beyond Brahma there is the transcendence, who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. So these impersonalists, they focus on, from scriptures, there are certain things, aham Brahmasmi, and also Arupam, means where it is told that Krishna does not have material form or he is Nirguna, but impersonalists mostly focus on this Arupam aspect, part of the thing. So Srila Prabhupada here is saying that, but Krishna as absolute truth, he is beyond this impersonal aspect. He is situated like eternity, bliss and knowledge, Sachidananda Vigraha. And Bhagavad Gita, it is told that Janma karma chame divyam yevam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So whoever understand Krishna's Janma and karma as transcendental, how they are not actually influenced by either three modes of material nature or some ordinary sense, they are completely transcendental, they will be liberated and directly attain to Krishna. So this is, here is Krishna's promise and Krishna's assurance. So our part is, we have to understand how Krishna is actually a transcendental. Not just theoretical, but realization is very important, how Krishna is really transcendental, beyond the modes of material nature. And then in 7th text of 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness, only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of the birth and death. there is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of that Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person, because He is the supermost. He is smaller than the smallest and He is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree, and He illumines the transcendental sky, and as a tree spreads its roots, He spreads His extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by His multi-energies, both material and spiritual. On the authority of Scripture, Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, clearly describing how Supreme God is a person. So, it is very important for the practitioner of Krishna consciousness how scripturally Krishna is a person and His aspects and His energies in detail. Otherwise, at any moment, in any particular scenario or circumstance, one can either deviate or his faith can be shakeable if he really not pay attention or understood or learnt with respect to the scriptures under the guidance of devotees. There is a high chance and high scope that one can easily bewildered and shaken by the various things in this material world. It's quite possible. Even Lord Brahma bewildered, Indra bewildered, so many great personalities bewildered. So then what to speak of us? We are very beginners and ordinary practitioners of Krishna consciousness. If we don't stick to the association of acharyas, then there is a great chance that we bewilder and we can't understand Krishna as a supreme person. So, and in the same Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that this cannot be understood by everyone. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashit etati siddhaye ettamapi siddhanam kashin mam veti tattvataha. So, out of thousands and thousands of men, only one may endeavor for this perfection, that Krishna is a supreme, and he can smile, he can talk, he has desires, he can have exchanges, he can do activities. This secret or this knowledge can be understood by very less people, or Manushyanam Sahasreshu. So, in this world, people look at this material world as two, three aspects mainly. Like one is this material world is meant for their enjoyment or survival. That is how people will look at this world. But that is not the purpose of this world, just not for survival. Or the other thing is, it is just meant for our enjoyment, sense gratification. But that is not the purpose of the creation of this world. So karmis particularly, they treat this world, this entire world, as just for their sense gratification only. And jnanis, they think that in this world there is no happiness. We should be retrieved, or we should be refrained from doing the activities so that we don't be inflicted by the miseries of this world. That's how jnanis refrain by developing some detachment. But ultimately, to liberate and to attain the eternal happiness, Sachidananda, one must be engaged in the positive aspects of that is Krishna consciousness, like a devotee. Otherwise, one cannot really be come out of this janma mrityu jara vyadi, because karmis more and more they just inflict in this with the reactions of the modes of material nature. And jnanis, although they refrain from the activities, material activities, and detached, but they don't have any positive engagement, there is a high chance of falling down. We know very well that Viswamitra is a great yogi, and he was doing meditation for thousands of years, but just in a flick of moment, he got deviated from his path and indulged in sense gratification. So, point is, from Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one must be engaged positively, like engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, one can be easily either deviated or indulged in sense gratification. So it's very important as practitioners of Krishna consciousness to be engaged in positive aspects like Acharya's prescribed chanting, hearing, and then yatras, association, deity worship, and some other services, reading Srila Prabhupada books. These kind of positive engagements will enable us to see or to not to stuck with these impersonal aspects or not just with Paramatma feature, rather we can understand Supreme Personality of Godhead as Bhagavan as Supreme Personality. And second aspect is people consider Krishna as an ordinary human being, or he also influenced by the karma. People think like that, but that is just a half knowledge. People doesn't know many things, but they'll talk based on the movies or some here and there bits and pieces people talks and come to the conclusions like, for example, Krishna died just because of an arrow shooted by a hunter Jara. This is many people's argument. Krishna also died like a normal human being. Then what's so great about him? He's also under the modes. How come he's beyond modes? But this is just off knowledge, because if we read Bhagavatam, it is clearly mentioned how Krishna left this world and what happened to Jara, hunter, when he shoots an arrow. When he came to know that by mistake he committed an offense at the lotus feet of Krishna, he begged for forgiveness, and then he glorifies Krishna, and then finally Krishna awards him to a place in the spiritual world. How many people knows this? But the person is going to liberate and give him a place in the spiritual world. How come the same person can kill or become the cause of death? So it's all ignorance. It's all half knowledge, or it's this kind of knowledge is simply out of ignorance and rebellious attitude. People doesn't want to accept the authority of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. They want to minimize Krishna and want to enjoy this world to whatever the extent they want. But the fact is, one cannot enjoy anything in this material world. Without Krishna, it's not possible. Only we are suffering. Out of ignorance, we may think that we have some enjoyment, but that is not the truth of this world. The naked truth of this material world is the reverses of life is the only naked truth of this world. There is no other truth in this material world. One has to come to this conclusion and convince and develop conviction, and then get out of this material world too, and then we will find the real happiness in Krishna Lokam. So I just want to read what Jara, hunter, actually prayed to Krishna. In 11th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we see that Krishna wanted to depart from this world. Lord Balarama then sat down on the shore of the ocean and fixed himself in the meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, merging himself within himself, and he gave up this mortal world. Lord Krishna then, the son of Devaki, having seen the departure of Lord Rama, Balarama, sat down silently on the ground under a nearby Pipala tree. And then the Lord was exhibiting his brilliantly effulgent four-armed form, the radiance of which, just like a smokeless fire, dissipated the darkness in all directions. His complexion was the color of the dark blue cloud, and his effulgence the color of the molten gold. And his all auspicious form bore the mark of Srivatsam. A beautiful smile graced his lotus face. Locks of dark blue hair adorned his head. His lotus eyes were very attractive, and his shark-shaped earrings glittered. He wore a pair of silken garments, an ornamental belt, the sacred thread, bracelets, and arm ornaments, along with a helmet, the Kaustuba jewel, necklaces, anklets, and other royal emblems. Encircling his body were flower garlands and his personal weapons in their embodied forms. As he held his left foot with its lotus red sole upon his right thigh. So he's sitting and description is going on, and his left foot held high on the right thigh. Now, just then, a hunter named Jara, who had approached the place, mistook the Lord's foot for a deer's face. And then, thinking he had found his prey, Jara pierced the foot with his arrow, which he had fashioned from the remaining iron fragment of Samba's club. So, hunter shooted an arrow onto the left thumb of Krishna's lotus feet. Then, seeing that four-armed personality, immediately Jara, hunter, is seeing the four-armed personality. The hunter became terrified of the offense he had committed, and he fell down, placing his head upon the feet of the enemy of the demons, Mukunda. So Jara fell at the feet of Lord Krishna and then begging forgiveness. And then Jara said, "O Lord Madhusudana, I am a most sinful person. I have committed this act out of ignorance. O purest Lord, O Uttama Shloka, please forgive this sinner." So hunter Jara is begging forgiveness from Krishna. Then how come he would be the cause of death for Lord Krishna? It's simply not possible. Kshatriya, in the Kurukshetra war, so many arrows went into the body of Arjuna and so many other warriors. They all did not die, but how come Krishna, just by a small arrow from an hunter to the leg or foot, how come he will die like that? It's a Leela manifested by Krishna to leave this world. That's the only thing. People are less intelligent and ignorant and envious. People think and consider like he died by an arrow. But that is not the fact here based on Bhagavatam. So then we'll see how he attained Krishna Loka. Oh Lord Vishnu, the legends say that for any man, constant remembrance of you will destroy the darkness of ignorance. O Master, I have wronged you. Therefore, O Lord of Vaikuntha, please kill this sinful hunter of animals immediately, so he may not again commit such offenses against saintly person. So he is very regret and very humble. Neither Brahma nor his sons headed by Rudra, nor any of the great sages who are masters of the Vedic mantras can understand the function of your mystic power, Yogeshwara, Krishna. Because your illusory potency has covered their sight, they remain ignorant of how your mystic power works. Therefore, what can I, such a low-born person, possibly say? This hunter's situation is more or less our situation only. But we may be better in one sense. It's all because of the mercy of Parampara Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada. How come otherwise we can understand? Hunter who could situate face-to-face Lord, he was in such a situation, but we are able to understand certain things. It's all mercy of Prabhupada and Acharyas. So all these things reminds the mercy of Prabhupada and the greatest gift of Prabhupada to this entire humanity and the practitioners of Krishna consciousness. So it's really touching heart how Acharyas, they are saving us and the entire world. And then Krishna is saying, my dear Jara, do not fear. Please get up. What has been done is actually my own desire. So, Krishna declared, it's not that Jara is killing Krishna. It's own desire of Krishna, Krishna's Leela. With my permission, go now to the abode of Payas, the spiritual world. So everyone should understand the complete picture of Jara hunter. Should not think that he shot an arrow and Krishna killed. And this is all ignorance. So he is not an ordinary personality. Krishna is Supreme Personality. We have to understand this truth through Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the Parampara line. Then we will rise above this ignorance and the modes of material nature and see how Krishna is perfectly like, he has three features, impersonal and Paramatma, but the ultimate feature as Bhagavan, as a Supreme Personality, that is the ultimate feature of absolute truth. So this is the second point I thought of discussing. Third point is how Krishna smiling. And I have taken one article from Back to Godhead magazine, written by a senior Vaishnava. They are all from Srila Prabhupada's purports only. I'm going to read a few from Srila Prabhupada's purports, how Krishna smile. Today's sloka, if we see, it is talked about Krishna's transcendental body and how he is the residence of Goddess of Fortune, and his usual gentle and sweetly smiling face, and his nectarian words and his flawless character. So now we are talking about smiling face. Before that, Krishna's nectarian words, the entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoken almost how many verses? 600 and plus. Although total 700 slokas, but Krishna spoken 600 and plus, and some around 90 to 190 slokas, Arjuna, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra, they spoken. Krishna spoken around 600 plus. So, such a nectarian words. Of course, one may see they are like a dry philosophical text, but one who has realization, they relish those texts as a great nectar. In the Bhagavad Gita itself, there is a great nectar. So, Bhagavad Gita is such a beautiful thing we all received from the lotus mouth of Lord Krishna, and we can hear the nectarian words. Now, sweetly smiling face. How Krishna's smile is enchanting. we can see. Now here we can see Radha Madhav, and whenever we come to see Krishna's darshan, definitely all the practitioners of Krishna consciousness, they experience the smile of Krishna looking at us. More or less every darshan, and how it is a great hope and great solace for the burning hearts of a conditioned soul. Yes or no? We all practicing and so many things, so many services, so many anxieties, so many conflicts. But when we come to in front of the Lord's face, then Krishna's smile is a great solace and great hope for the hopeless. So now let's see how Krishna's smile, what Prabhupada is saying in his purports. Some aspects I just quickly read out. So in how Krishna's smile is satisfying, that is a purport from Prabhupada's purport I am going to read. Because we are all in spiritual nature, nothing of this material world can satisfy our hearts. In Bhagavad Gita 17.16, Lord Krishna lists satisfaction of the mind as one of the austerities in the mode of goodness. The more we try to find satisfaction in the objects of this world, the more our mind becomes dissatisfied. This is the nature of this material world. So, but we have to deeply understand these aspects of materialism, material consciousness. Otherwise, we may end up simply in just satisfying our mind in this world and then continue and in the chain of reactions of modes of material nature. So, it's very important to understand the more we try to satisfy in this world the senses, more we become dissatisfied. We can experience satisfaction as soon as we turn our face towards Krishna in devotional service. So that satisfaction comes just by smile of Krishna's smile, Krishna's face. Srila Prabhupada explains the exceptional beauty of the Lord Vishnu is that when he smiles, the beauty of the person enhanced with his smile. Yes or no? We are quiet, we are grave, then it's all right. But when we heartfully smiles, the beauty of the person, it will enhance. Then what to speak of Krishna? Krishna's smile expands, it's like his smile is like expanded beauty of Krishna. And then this is from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3rd canto, 28th chapter, 33rd purport. And then next, his smile is like a motherly affection. The first thing is satisfaction. Second thing is motherly affection. After Queen Kunti prayers, we see Krishna smiles. After Arjuna's questions in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna smiles. And then meditation upon these pastimes of Krishna and between him and his devotees becomes a great, let me read Prabhupada purport. So the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti, composed in choice words of his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, the supreme master of all mystic powers. By his mystic potency, he resides in countless spiritual Vaikuntha planets. He creates and annihilates countless material universes. And he expands into countless spiritual forms to reside simultaneously in every universe. So here it is glorified that Krishna's mystic power, Yogeshwara, So here one point I just want to highlight is the most alluring illusory material energy is said to be the smile of the Lord's universal form. In the spiritual world, Krishna's smile is the most attractive spiritual energy. So for this smile, we are hankering for this smile. So many married couples, they know that in a home, how much they hanker for the smile of their spouse or partner. So we are hankering for such a beautiful, affectionate, loving and caring smile. But we see most of the time frustrated, rebellious, or dissatisfied, or angry face, not the smiley face. But Krishna's smile is such a attractive energy in the spiritual world. So that's why instead of staying, this. That's why we have to take darshan of Krishna daily. Not to, instead of what to say, just carried away by so many other seeing so many expressions of different people of material world. If we see the smiling face of Krishna, all the things will go away, negative things, and then positive vibration will come up. So that is one thing. And the other thing is Krishna's smile is very contagious. It's very attractive. And then he is enchanting. Yeah, here Prabhupada writes one more thing is, the Lord in his deity form smiles at everyone who comes before him. And when he becomes pleased with our services and surrender, with our willingness to dedicate our entire being to please him, then his smile touches our heart and satisfies ourself completely. So this is the secret Prabhupada is teaching, that when we serve with the surrender mode, then Krishna, smile touch our heart and satisfies us fully. And then Lord Chaitanya Leela, Krishna Gauranga tells Sanatanam about all the features of 64 features of Krishna to Sanatana Goswami. And then he also explained about the smiling Lord's smile. And then I'll just end with one point in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One female Pingala, that how she actually detached from this material world and attached to Krishna. I'll just read out quickly how she... Meditation on examples like whatever we discussed, some of the Archana, Kunti Devi, all those. Lord's promises to his devotees and in his inconceivable plan to bring us all closer to him, even in trying situations, even unfavorable situations. We find in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam the history of the prostitute Pingala, in whose heart detachment arose from frustration. Acknowledging the Lord's mercy, she became happy in her situation and composed beautiful prayers to him. So she was just waiting for every night. She wants to enjoy an insignificant man. One day they did not turn up, his lover, and then out of frustration, detachment came, and finally she turned towards Krishna, who sat in her heart as a super soul and then became Krishna conscious. So here the point is, her realization is, it is told that the hope in this material world is actually a hopelessness. And the hopelessness in this material world is the great hope for the aspirant of Krishna consciousness. I'll repeat again. The hope of sense gratification gives happiness in this material world is actually a hopelessness. It's never come true. But the hopelessness in this material world is the great hope that Krishna, or we can go back. It becomes a great thrust to go back to Krishna. So this is the conclusion. I mean, one of the great realization from that pastime. So our learning lesson. So I would like to end this class with that particular point. So the sense gratification in this world gives a great hope, thinking that we will be happy and we will become happy like that. But it's a frustrating and hopelessness. But the actual one who understands the hopelessness in this material world develops a great hope about Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. So any discussion, anything? Otherwise we will close. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vandeham नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्-भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद।